What's up guys, Bryce here, and we're back at it again for another video. And in this video, we're going to be analyzing my onboards from the Aspiring Driver Shootout. If you haven't seen the kind of recap video of this event, be sure to check it out. Link will be in the description. I'll put a card like in the top right. So yeah, we're just going to be going through all of my onboards from the session, kind of just go through what was going through my mind and just kind of do a little commentary. I might play through all of them. I know one session I did about 10 laps, so it's going to be kind of long, but you can just enjoy this video, kind of see what it was like my first time in a real car after sim racing my whole life, and kind of just what was going through my head, and kind of also my first time going through these videos like fully in depth. So I know the quality isn't the best, but it is what I got. And yeah, and then at the end of the video, very special thing at the end of the video, I'm going to be comparing my lap to Alex's lap. Alex is PT Autosport's #1 driver, very quick driver in Porsche Cup, and has done many racing events in real life. And he was about 3 seconds faster than me. He's the man. So we're going to be comparing my lap to his and just kind of looking at that as well. So stay tuned and let's get started. So here it is, my first ever run going out on track. So if you look carefully here, we just have the kind of dashboard. You can see the gear, speed, and miles per hour, RPM. This camera here, I think it was supposed to be a roll bar, but since they added the second seat there, the view is kind of blocked. And you can actually hear me talking a little bit. And then up here you have the pedal cam, rear view camera. So basically, when I first went out on the pits, when I first came out, and this is New Jersey Motorsports Park, by the way. It is an iRacing. You can find this NSL course as well. I'm just getting a feel for the clutch, getting a feel for the car as I make my way around the track, and you will see a lot of progression throughout the 3 days that I did race and drive the car. I'm asking him here if I should be left foot braking, only right foot braking. Like, I just don't know, you know, what's the quickest way around, especially with a manual clutch, and I'm still getting a feel for the pedals. Again, I'm like trying to look down and see them because I can't see them as well, which is an interesting thing. And here is just an installation lap. Like, I, you know, had no idea what was going on. And yeah, I knew I could go fast. I was just kind of nervous and just trying to figure everything out on this lap here. And I think here is when I think the big thing that really, in hindsight, I should have done this is right foot braking only. I was really trying to left foot brake because I knew that it would be easier for me because I'm very good at left foot braking. Right foot braking, first time ever right foot braking. So I was trying to right foot brake, left foot brake, heel and toe, and it was a lot of information, and I should have just right foot brake only, which is eventually what I ended up doing. And you know, the really good drivers can right foot and left foot brake with a manual gearbox, but for me and the experience that I had, right foot braking was what I should have been focusing on the most. So you can see I'm simply just getting a feel for things, releasing the clutch not as smoothly as my coach was telling me. And again, coaches were phenomenal. And you can see there's a car behind me here. This is another one of the competitors who, I think all of them had experience in a manual car, so they kind of just fly by me. So again, simply just installation laps. I think this was about a 5-lap run. Kind of just play through here and see what happens. I think here, I'm not sure here, but I know at one point he just told me, don't worry about the gears, stay in fourth and just drive your line. Yeah, so at some point that's what I did. and it kind of just simplified things for me. And that was when I was just really able to like kind of go as flat out as I could. And it was a lot of fun. Like that first moment when I kind of just went for it without worrying about the gears. Obviously it's not going to be the quickest because I wasn't really shifting. So I was staying in fourth, I think. It was really a moment there. And again, we're getting a little caught up here by traffic, so we kind of just wait because we were only allowed to pass given a signal. And I think I backed off to build a gap. So I think here we kind of just backed off a little bit and built a gap. And then I think here we just kind of went for it. Again, this first run was, you know, just getting a feel for everything. Pretty good shifts right there. First decent shift. This was pretty scary going down to turn 1, flat out here. Again, kind of just ease off the gas, just slowly get a feel for the car. And you can see the car in front is also slowing down some more. I'm not sure kind of what the issue with that is. I think we go on the inside. We do. First ever pass in real life. I think here is when you go through this right and left-hander. I'm not sure. It would have been nice to have experience in a manual car before this, but I don't live in the UK, so most of the cars here are automatic. And on the sim, of course, didn't have a manual setup. Again, I kind of knew the lines and just the overall technique, but kind of the building block foundation of using a manual gearbox and the stick shift and everything was my weakness, essentially. You can see I'm kind of picking up the pace a little bit, you know, third lap. And I don't even think they were tracking lap time here. But I'm just kind of slowly starting to pick up the pace, and now we're getting in a little bit of a flow here. But again, still, I haven't really done much shifting of the gears. And of course I did a miss shift a few times, which was painful. So going down to turn 1, lift off the gas a little bit, and we kind of just coast our way into turn 1. First little miss-shift there. Was it a miss-shift? No, I think we changed it to third. For some reason, the gear display shows 5th and then down to 3rd. And you can see the back end. A little squirrely there. And going to this right left-hander again. Pick up the pace a little bit, but it's still not, you know, fully. I don't think we shift to 4th here. And I think here, if you look top left pedal box, I think here's when I was getting a little bit of confidence and I tried to heel and toe and misshifted. Nope, it wasn't here. One of these laps I remember I tried to heel and toe. Only time I tried, and then I didn't try after that because just couldn't do it at the time. You can see I'm picking up the pace a little bit here. Again, still in 3rd gear, not shifting up, so it's not really ideal. Going through what they call the octopus here. It is very dark, the weather. This was kind of a night session or late afternoon session, so I do apologize for that. And this was in November when it's getting dark pretty early here in the States. And didn't shift to 5th, just stayed in 4th, hit the rev limiter slightly before I backed off once more. And again, obviously losing tons of time here because I'm not maximizing the braking. Downshift into 3rd, use the curb on the inside. You can see now here, just the flow is kind of coming together. Kind of the first sector. Yes, it's not fully maximized, of course, but compared to the first couple laps, stay in 3rd here. Kind of just get the line right. And again, one thing, you know, hindsight again, looking back at this is like, these Mazdas are very easy to correct when the car does step out. I didn't know of that. I didn't know if the car would be unsavable once I kind of made a little mistake, because in the sim, the car is pretty unsavable. And there is when I tried to heel and tow. Didn't work out. But yeah, like in the sim, from my experience, the cars are pretty unsavable. It is because I'm pushing very hard, but in real life, the cars are so much more forgiving, and you really do, it lets you know when the car is stepping out and you're losing grip. I didn't know that, so again, you know, I didn't know where the limit was because I didn't go over it, and that's also because I didn't want to push beyond my capabilities and what my knowledge was at the time. And I think we have about a couple laps left, and then that's going to wrap up the Tuesday session. First ever time in a race car, even if it's just a Spec Miata, manual gearbox. Pretty good shift there, nice and smooth. Could have been quicker, of course, but you will see in my qualifying run that I did the day after this that it definitely did get an improvement. I think this was the last lap here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I believe this was here. The last lap. Yep, it was. And then head into the pits. And then there you go. I pretty much got like 3-4 laps of running time and then back into the pits. And again, this night I couldn't sleep because I was just thinking about this run and how much I could have improved and things like that and what to do, and thinking about so many things when you're in the car for the first time. So the next session is the next morning at about 10 a.m. Good night of sleep, and I felt pretty confident. So let's take a look at that run in the morning, the next day after this one. All right, guys, it is the next morning in New Jersey Motorsports Park, and we're back in the car. Yeah, we're back in the car, and this is on Wednesday. So this is the day that the winners would be announced and things like that. And we had a lot of driving in this day. So this is the first run. A lot brighter outside. You can see a lot more. And again, you'll see what happens going down to turn 1 for the first time on this day. Again, I was really eager to kind of improve, show that I learned from the first day, and I was ready to kind of take a step up. So you can already see straight away back on the pace that we left off on. And you know, in the sim, this would be like not very quick, definitely not my full potential. But again, just a smooth little outlap, and then we go for it on the next lap, and you'll see what happens going down to turn 1. Little feather of the throttle there, and we are full throttle here. Didn't go into 5th gear on this run, and you can see misshift. Meant to shift into 4th, shifted into 2nd, corrected it quickly. So already, you know, when things like that happen, you know, you kind of think about it, but I knew quick, forget about it, move on. That's what we did. Going down to turn 1 here. Go on the brakes, not hard enough. Car starts to oversteer a little bit. We're kind of sideways, and we go off the track into the dirt. And kind of just go back on the track, drive it off. All right, so let's take a look at that again. going down to turn 1, I didn't have a feeling for the brakes, and braking, not enough. The front end bites. I catch it and just kind of understeer massively out wide over a bunch of bumps, and we're back on the track. So from the misshift to going wide to turn 1, I kind of had a feeling of like, this isn't going well, but then again, it kind of just kept driving the car, and by this point I've already forgotten about it. So again, I didn't have a feeling for the brakes. I thought that kind of the pressure that I had would be good, but in fact I again didn't have enough pressure in the brakes, didn't have a feeling for them, and just understeered massively. Kind of first time I've ever felt that understeer feeling. But again, from here we kind of just keep driving, and that's what happened. You can see, still doing good. You can see it looked like oversteer there. I couldn't really tell. But again, you can already see just I have a bit more confidence in the car, a bit more confidence in my driving, and watching this back gets me excited because I just know the emotions that I was kind of going through, actually driving, like getting a feel for it and kind of enjoying this. You can see a bit of oversteer going through the octopus, and we are again flat here. Gonna make sure we don't miss shift again. Just keep it smooth, and second time going down turn 1, we're gonna try not to make the same mistake. And the good thing was that we didn't make the same mistake twice. You know, I misshifted again in another session. That happens, but in terms of that, the braking kind of broke a little bit sooner, a little bit harder. You can see we kind of overslowed a little bit here just to get the feeling. Slightly clipped the inside curb. And again, it's not, of course, I'm not going flat out here. Of course, I'm not maximizing the car or going near the limit, but just learning as we go. And again, definitely through that little section of corners there, much quicker. So you can see we're just slowly starting to build experience, going slightly faster. Using all the track on the exit. And just overall getting a great feeling for the car. And definitely really good, you know, test session. On the brakes here, little trail, back on power, flick the car to the left. Again, back end started to get, you know, a bit, the tires definitely started to overheat a tiny bit going through that left-hander. And we even talked about, you know, in a race situation, you gotta be careful of that, you know, because in a longer run that can start to harm the tires and harm the amount of grip that you do have towards, you know, the end of the session. So third time going down to turn 1. Let's see how we do this time. Again, we're not shifting into 5th gear. On the brakes a little bit later that time, a little bit harder. Again, probably overslowed a little bit. Carried a good amount of speed. We use some of the curb on the left now, turn in, clip this inside curb, looking at that cone there. A little oversteer. Go to this corner here. Kind of just get a nice solid line through here, straight as possible. A slow car there on the left. So I didn't see that. I was very focused, but luckily, you know, we kind of avoided that, which was no issue. So that kind of ruined the momentum a little bit, and you can see our lap time here. We are in... Last lap was a 1:46, so that is about 6 seconds off of what I do in qualifying. But also the track was different as well. You can see we're in the higher revs now. Hit the rev limiter slightly. You can see again, you know, we were just doing laps, and from this point forward, you know, it was a little difficult to kind of see the, you know, the kind of improvement. You can definitely see we're just kind of just picking up the pace little by little. And we'll see what we can do on this lap here without any traffic, using all the curb on the right. And again, I don't think we shift into 5th gear just yet. Again, braking slightly before the curb. Stay in 4th gear. And I knew that 4th gear was quicker. I knew that 4th gear going through these corners was going to be quicker because you can stay in 4th through the right and the left. And again, I think we could have carried a bit more speed going into this corner. We could have just floored it a lot sooner, but again, you know, I wasn't too sure of kind of the pace and where that limit was. You can see we stay in 4th all the way here. Kind of aggressively use that curb on the inside. Downshift to 3rd. And again, you can already see kind of the improvement building from that very first session that we did. You can see going through there a bit quicker as well. And yeah, just watching this back, you know, I think it's just nice seeing the improvement. And yeah, I think it's just crazy to see that this even happened. You can see a little oversteer there. And again, still just trying to take in as much information as I can. And still at this point, I'm just still learning. It's still conscious. It's not subconscious yet, everything that's going on. But hopefully we can get to that level where it is subconscious and we can focus on actually, you know, getting to the limit. And I believe this was the end of this run. And yep, we head back into the pits. So that was the first session of the day. This is the next session after that. Another session after that. And then we have our qualifying run. So this is, again, this is kind of where it's being like, how much have you learned from those first 2 runs? Kind of what can you do now? So again, I'm still learning, but I have maybe just 6 or 7 laps of more experience. Now we did do a 10-lap run. I don't know if I'm going to be showing that on video because it's just a 10-lap run. It wasn't anything crazy. Now, I don't know. Yep, so we still had the chicane in here, the little right-left. They did take out the right-left for the qualifying run and for the 10-lap run. But again, I don't think I'm going to be showing the 10-lap run because it's just 10 laps. And nothing crazy really happened in that run. So yeah, another run to learn and improve. And they also did make setup changes to the car, and we kind of had to get a feel for that as well. But this is, we'll kind of skip ahead here to the start straight, and we'll see how I do. I don't know if I shifted into 5th. Stayed in 4th once more. Again, braking a little bit later here. And you can see just carrying a little bit more speed in turn 1. Just getting a little bit more confidence with the car. The car gets so light coming over that little crest. Kind of lost the line there. The line was a bit compromised, so that already compromised the lap a little bit. But yeah, this was just a normal run. We'll skip to the end, show you guys the last lap. You know, it's pretty much the same thing. I don't think you guys want to go through all of this footage, but kind of those first 2 runs were obviously the most important. and you'll see the most improvement. Last lap of this run, you can see braking a bit later here, carrying a little bit more speed. You can see the car looks like it's just a little bit on the edge more. But again, of course, I was still very much off the pace. Almost on the inside there, but you can just see there, the line is just a lot cleaner than the first run there. A lot of curb on the inside. And again, we didn't really have that much track time. Like, yes, we did have a good amount of time. But in total was about 25 laps maybe. But of course, super grateful for this, and definitely had a lot of time. So yeah, pretty much just did more laps, and that was kind of what the pace looked like for, you know, majority of the sessions. And I believe this is my qualifying lap. Is this my qualifying lap? I don't think this is my qualifying lap. I believe this is actually the 10-lap run that I did when they took off the chicane. If that's what you want to call it, a little right-left. Yeah, so this is the 10-lap run. This is the 10-lap run that I did. Probably not going to go through all of this, but there was a little moment here that I will kind of show. So again, 10 laps here. This is kind of where your consistency is going to be shown. So you can see here, instead of going to the right and the left, you now have just a straight. And you have a right-hander here that is supposed to be flat out. You can take this flat out. So that's what you could do. Now let's find where I did make a little mistake here. All right, so here's the lap where I made a little mistake. It's not going to look kind of terrible on camera, but definitely in the moment, it definitely shocks you a little bit. So coming out the last corner, down turn 1, everything's going pretty smooth, but I got a little greedy on turn 2. Got a little greedy and tried to take a little too much curb. Down to turn 1, 5th gear now. We are using 5th gear now, which we weren't doing before. And we're in the 140s. Turn 1, just turn 2 I meant a little too much curb, and you know, it's not too bad. Just went out on the curb a little bit. A little too much. A loud bang in the car. And that was kind of that. And then I did have one missed shift at the end, and that was pretty much it. And again, we had the one session on Tuesday. I don't know where I got Thursday from. We had that one session on Tuesday, and then we had about 3 sessions on Wednesday, and then we had one qualifying run, which I'm going to show you now. So here it is. This is my quali run after having maybe 25 laps of experience in a manual car. This is my quali run. Of course, it's not the best I could ever do. At this point, I'm so new to this. You can see the shifting is much quicker, using 5th gear, going down into turn 1, braking right before the curb, try to use all the track on the left, turn in, just kind of kiss the inside curb a little bit, use the curb on the left to open up turn 2, use a good amount of curb on the right, but not too much so we don't put too much load on the left-hand side of the car. And going through this corner here, we didn't do it flat. I tried, but I just didn't have the confidence yet in the car. Going down to this corner here, if you look in the pedal box, I mistaked the brake for the clutch and kind of had a little misstep there. Down to this corner, shift out to 3rd gear, get a nice late apex there. I didn't carry enough speed. I mean, through all these corners pretty much, but especially that one, didn't carry enough speed there. But definitely just my shifts are so much better. Of course, they're not perfect, but a lot better from that first session we did in the morning. And you can see we're just carrying a good amount of speed, just doing the best I can, not going over the limit here. Try to brake as much as I could, just turn the car in. It has a bit of camber there, so the car's going to grip up a bit. Turn the car to the left, feathering the throttle, on gas as soon as I can. around there, full throttle, and then we're on to the front straight. This looked pretty good to me. I was pretty happy with this until I saw Alex Sedgwick's lap, and his lap is pretty fast, about 3 seconds quicker than this lap. So we're going to watch his lap. I'm going to do a commentary over it, and then we're going to do a side-by-side comparison. So here it is, Alex Sedgwick's lap. Very fast drive in real life, NASCAR, Porsche Cup. So let's get right into this. Going down to turn 1, 5th gear, you can see he's getting the brakes ready. Brakes much later than I am, heel and towing down to turn 1. You can see just the amount of speed he's carrying into turn 1. This corner here, he lifts slightly, and you can just see just how he's balancing the brake and the throttle. He's playing with the pedals, getting the right rotation he needs. Does that corner flat out, no problem. Going down into turn 4, he brakes quite late again, just carrying so much speed, full confidence with the car, throws the car in, brakes, heel and toe again, and you can see carries a lot more speed through this corner and uses a lot more of the track on the exit, and that's how you know he's carrying a lot of speed, because he's maximizing the track. This corner here, not flat out quite, but still he is very much on the limit here. Going down to this corner here, brakes quite late, another heel and toe, and just throws the car in. And this corner here, he takes a pretty interesting line. He doesn't hug the inside like I was. He was kind of using the camera, the camber, to rotate the corner, rotate the car, and kind of set himself up for the last corner. And you can just see, boom, he's already full throttle. He's on it. Uses all the track on the exit. And what can you say? Pretty quick lap. Pretty fast through all the corners. Definitely on the limit there. And yeah, that's pretty quick. And that's his lap. So here we go. The comparison between me and Alex's lap. Let's get right into this. Going down into turn 1, he's on the left, I'm on the right, and you can already tell it's close going into turn 1. You can see it's decently close. The second corner here, you can see it's just slightly ahead. Turn 1 wasn't as bad as I thought. Going into turn 3 here, and you can already see just from him being flat out, he gains a chunk of time on me. He's already at the braking zone compared to me, and I lifted. And you can already see he is gone. He is already down into turn 6. Rotates the car in on the throttle, and I'm still getting through turn 6. And definitely that sequence of corners, he was going so much faster than I was. This corner here, again, almost flat. And again, me, I'm just kind of not as quick. This corner again, he's already heel and towing, already into the octopus section. And I'm just there, just now getting into this section here. You can see his line is slightly different, and that's definitely gonna help him get set up. And you can see here he's already setting himself up for the front straight, full throttle, and he's pretty much on his way to complete his lap. And I'm just on my way just right now. So again, it's not terrible, but he is definitely so much more comfortable in the car and just on the limit there. And that's going to give him a 137, and that gives me a 140. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I covered kind of a bit of what was going on in my head and just the performance and kind of how it went during the driver shootout and looking at my onboard. So again, I will be going out on track again in May at Skip Barber, and then possibly again at this track in the same car sometime over the summer. So it's just going to be really interesting to see how I do, and I'm going to have an actual camera as well that goes mounted to my helmet. So it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm very excited for that, and we can just see the improvement. Overall, you know, first time ever in a manual car, in a racetrack, in a race car. So, you know, just learning as much as I can. And yeah, so fun. It's, you know, if you want to see kind of the feeling of it, go watch the other video where I kind of explain more in depth. But yeah, it's crazy that I got the opportunity to do this. Very grateful. Thank you to PT Autosport once again. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, leave a like down below. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.